Hi, my name is Jerry Bowman and I am a certified ethical hacker. I would advise organizations reading about ransomware in the news to ensure that their organization is properly trained in terms of security. I would make it an annual security requirement, and I would incorporate several different training courses so that you're covering all aspects of IT security. What concerns me the most about recent ransomware trends is that ransomware attackers will continue to demand money even after the victim has paid the ransom. However, I'm not surprised by that because when you learn about IT security, you learn that the main motivating factor of hackers is financial gain. Also understand that if this continues to happen, we all will suffer even if we're not directly paying the ransom. In my opinion, I feel that companies should not pay the ransom. I feel that companies would be better off financially by investing that money elsewhere. For example, a company could put that money into the staff and hiring IT professionals dedicated to ransomware and other malware attacks. Or a company could use the money that you're going to pay the ransom to pay an outsourced company that specializes in preventing and mitigating malware attacks so that it lessens the chance of it happening again for the company. I think the reason for that is because of the skill level of the criminal deploying ransomware. The fact that the criminal may be equally or better in terms of IT skill than the user or the employee within the company is probably a factor in the criminal not being held accountable for the crime. As I mentioned, financial gain is a big motivating factor for hackers. So I believe that the criminal will take even more steps to ensure that they have the skills and training and experience to cover the tracks in whatever they're doing. Another reason that they may not be held accountable is a legal implementation. I think the reason why we don't hear much about criminals being held accountable for deploying ransomware is because the criminals are equal or may even be more skilled than those responsible for stopping them. It may be because that they're using better tools than those responsible for defending their companies or organizations against ransomware. Financial gain is a motivating factor of hackers, as you may know. So I fully expect that the attackers were doing everything they can do to ensure that they're committing the crime without it being traced back to them. So I believe that they're using the best tools for the situation. They're getting the right training. They're very experienced. And there's also a legal aspect to it, depending on which country the attacker is deploying the crime. So if, for instance, if they're deploying ransomware from one country to another, the law enforcement and IT of both countries must work together to define what ransomware crime has been done and to properly track down the assailant and to apply the appropriate punishment for doing that crime. If my company suffered a ransomware attack today, what I would do to help recover is to provide enough detailed information to assist those who are dedicated in the security roles to assist with remedying the attack. At my agency, if you're not working in a specific security role, you face restrictions on what you can actually do. So the best course of action is to just supply the information or documentation that you need to allow them to carry on with that part of the mission. I think that finding people with those skill sets is very rare, as reverse engineering and dissecting ransomware requires a high amount of dedication as well as technical skills and experience. So I feel that companies and organizations will need to be more creative and innovative to provide training and resources, as well as expanding their group of IT cybersecurity professionals dedicated to this task, so that way it's not relying on one person to cover defending against ransomware and other malware attacks. After becoming CEH certified, I left that training with a greater sense of understanding of how to combat malware attacks, not just ransomware. The other takeaway that I got from the CEH regarding ransomware is that I can fully expect questions on ransomware to be on any security related tests or exam that I take moving forward. I know that because I not only saw ransomware questions on the CEH, but previously on the Security Plus.